Well, Casey here. This is the fourth installment of the series From Figma to Webflow. If you haven't seen the other three installments, I would suggest you go back and watch those and then come back to this video after you do that. But if you want to learn all about animations and some of the best practices for that when taking a design from Figma into development in Webflow and really finishing that out, then stay tuned to this particular video, because what we're going to be looking at is when you should animate, how you should animate, as well as some animation best practices. It's going to not only save you time, but it's also going to help your clients gain clients of their own when it comes to SEO considerations. So let's jump into the computer and let's talk a little bit more about this. All right, so here we are in the computer, and as you can see, I have the site up that we've been working on over the last several installments of this particular series. And one of the things that I want to show you as we begin is the page load animation that I created for this particular project. And as you can see, it's rather quick, but you have the logo against the black backdrop, and that logo fades out, and then the curtains open and shows the website with the main header text coming up from bottom to really try to capture your attention. But also the point of that is to elevate the brand. It is a white logo against a black backdrop, and then we have some nice, other colors as we roll in here, but that can really symbolize luxury, or can help elevate just with the colors as well as the animation that is there. And then as you scroll down the screen in this particular website, you just notice I have some subtle animations. There's nothing crazy or out of the ordinary that is happening. Some slide in from the bottom animations, as well as in this particular section, you just have some pictures moving with scroll just ever so slightly, nothing major. And then when you get down to the CTA section, a nice subtle animation there as well. Now you notice that I've said the word subtle several times as I'll walk you through this particular homepage, and I've done that on purpose because one of the things that I think we forget, and particularly with Webflow and the superpowers that it gives us, is that we can animate all kinds of things, and we can do that really easily, and we can take those animations to the extreme. But most websites don't need extreme animations because most websites are not looking to win some sort of an award. And I would also argue that even websites that are looking to win an award, shouldn't be taking animations to the extreme. Rather, what we should be doing if we're going for an award or if we're just building a website for a client is we should be asking, is this animation going to be helpful to pointing the user to particular information that they should be looking at, or is it not? As you see this animation here when it loads, we certainly want them to see the logo, and then also we want them to really see that header hero text, award-winning social media marketing. As the website loads, you really can't miss that because it's not there, it's there, it's popping up, it's moving. People are going to be drawn to that right away. And one of the things that you need is people drawn to your website so that they want to scroll. As well as when you scroll down, again, nothing crazy, but in this particular portfolio section, if you notice here, as you scroll through, the slight movement of the pictures might draw your attention a little bit longer to that particular section so that you decide to click on one of these case studies, or so that you just notice that the client that I've worked with is working with big name brands and he is helping them with their social media and branding, and he can do the same for you. And so making sure that the animations that we're doing is not taking over the show, because that's not their purpose. Instead, it is to highlight particular pieces on the website that you want people to look at. It's also to elevate the brand so that it's a little bit different than other websites. You're setting yourself apart from your competitors. You're doing that with good design, you're doing that with good copy, and you're also doing that with good animations. The other thing that you should take into consideration when you're thinking about animations is when to build them. Now, you might think, man, animations are so cool and I want to put those in right from the beginning, and some of those you might need to put in from the beginning. But one of the things that I do is I wait to the very end in order to animate my projects, and that's because changes inevitably occur. Even if you walk through the best design process, changes will inevitably occur in the development stage of the project. And so you need to make sure that all of those changes have been done. If not, you're going to be spending time animating something that may just get nixed or may get changed to look completely different by the end of the project. And so I would say leave your animations until the end, until everything is set, everything is good, nothing else is going to change, and then do the animations for the particular project. That is not only going to save you time, but it's also going to help you to understand what it is that you need to highlight through an animation in that particular project. The other thing that you can do to save time, and this also goes back to the build, is making sure that you're utilizing classes in your build, but also utilize those classes that you have used. So the 2-column layout component is something that I've used throughout the website. Well, if I animate that particular class and I use that as a slide in from the bottom animation, well, all I have to do is make sure that that's applied to each of the pages so that that same class will be targeted with that same particular animation. That's an easy way to animate an entire site rather quickly. Another thing that you can do, again, this has to make sure that you've done the build process, but animate components. And so this is a component here. And so one of the things that I've done is I've animated again the class so that all of these right here are animating. And I've animated the particular component that I'm going to be reusing on a number of different pages. And so this will save you a lot of time as well. It will animate those components throughout the website. So animate on classes that you're reusing, build with classes that you can reuse throughout the website, as well as components. The other thing, when you're thinking about animating a website and when you get done with the animation process, is you want to come over here and this button right here that says clean up over the top of the interactions. You want to make sure that you click that button, and then if there are any unused animations, you want to make sure that you delete those. This will keep your site nice and clean and get that site ready for launch. Now, when it comes to SEO and animations, one of the things that you can do is obviously keep the animations to a minimum. Don't go crazy with them. Don't be shifting text all over the place throughout the website. But the other thing that you can do is, if you're really concerned about it and you do want to put a little bit more heavier animations on the desktop, is to remove some of those animations selectively, particularly maybe the more heavier animations from the phone portion. Now, I don't mind these animations. I haven't loaded this site up with animations, but other sites I have done that, where I've animated more heavily on the desktop, and then when it comes to the mobile version, I've removed those animations just to reduce a bit of weight so that it's not taking forever to load. Google, whenever they're doing the Lighthouse score for your particular website, they're looking at the mobile version. So everything's mobile first now. And so we want to make sure that what we're doing is playing nice with mobile and it's not hogging a ton of data. And so you can actually remove some of the animations that don't make sense for mobile or are either really heavy to help you with SEO. Well, thank you for joining me for this 4th installment of From Figma to Webflow. We're getting super close to launching this particular website. And so in the next installment in this series, we're going to be looking at launching the website. What are the processes and how should we think about launch? What should we do before we launch a particular website? And then how do we hand the website off to our clients once we have launched that? So hopefully you'll join me on the next installments of this particular series, From Figma to Webflow.